Michael Jordan stood atop the sports world when on July 23, 1993, his father James Jordan was murdered during a carjacking in rural North Carolina. A shaken Jordan withdrew from the public spotlight. The emotional toll from his father's death, combined with an increased media attention to his off-field gambling activities, led to another shocking announcement less than 3 months later. Michael Jordan, the most recognizable athlete in America, was walking away from basketball at the age of 30.
The motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
This past September, Michael Jordan surprised his partner in crime, former teammate Scottie Pippen, showing up at Pippen's 47th birthday party at a Chicago lounge. And that night allegedly ended with a dance-off between the two of them. No doubt MJ was serious about the competition. So what will the celebration entail when Michael Jordan himself turns 50 this Sunday, February 17th? What do you get? A six-time champion who transcended the game he dominated for years. Michael Wilbon says, respect.
It's been 31 years since he vaulted into the national consciousness with the shot that won the first of many championships. It's been 27 years since his historic scoring outburst in Boston Garden, 22 since his first NBA title, 17 since his greatest season, and rather unbelievably, 15 years since his last NBA championship. It's all been a long time ago now because Michael Jordan is about to turn 50. Halftime of a life that combined the performance drama of Ruth with the global appeal of Ali. 50, whether Jordan wants to indulge midlife or not, is a time for reflection, and there's an inordinate amount to consider. 10 years after his final game, Jordan still holds more than a dozen NBA records of significance, from scoring titles, to scoring average in a final series, to most finals MVPs, to all defensive first-team selections. And none of those speaks to Jordan's cultural impact. The shoes sold, the commercials made, the heads shaved, and the number of boys and girls who for more than 20 years wanted nothing more than to be like Mike.
Here's Michael, holds it on top. Pippen wants to go on harnessing. Demanded the ball. Back Michael, open three. Yes! They lead it. 38 points for the King.
The critics will desperately point to his stint in minor league baseball, the rather messy ending with the Wizards, and this completely unproductive stretch running the Bobcats as low points in the Jordan legacy. But given the overall body of work, that's like obsessing over the B-side of a Michael Jackson hit. Jordan, as the novelist Scott Turow once wrote, plays basketball better than anyone in the world does anything else. We've come to accept Magic as a business mogul and Barkley as a media star. But Jordan is forever in our minds a man in uniform. Most notably, the Bulls Road Red, in which he seemed to do his greatest work. From Cleveland over Elo.
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win it!
To Salt Lake City over Russell.
10 seconds. And with it, of course, the championship. George, 20-footer ahead of the King. Good! Chicago by 1.
He's the only basketball player ever to have his jersey retired by a team for which he never played. Forbes magazine once estimated Jordan helped generate $10 billion in revenues for the game of basketball, its network, and corporate sponsors. The Tribune once estimated that Jordan was worth $1 trillion to the city and the economy of Chicago. And at a time when athletic and entertainment icons have an incredibly short shelf life, Jordan's run of 30 years is almost unthinkable. Only recently, fans too young to remember the detail and depth of his greatness started to suggest that Kobe Bryant and/or LeBron James are his basketball equals. Fortunately, they're old enough to know how far that is, so far, from the truth. 9 times in 15 full seasons, Jordan played in all 82 games. For patrons, buying a ticket to see Jordan was like going to the theater, and you were in little danger of getting an understudy, or an effort that was less than epic. Of all the things Jordan will be celebrated for, even at 50, The controlled rage with which he played might be the most important. Who else but Jordan would find that competitive rage during a Hall of Fame induction speech?
You look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the game of basketball at the highest level.
The only thing he hasn't managed so far, as evidenced by the Wizards and Bobcats, is a successful second act. But as much as anything, few men in public life had a first act as victorious, as winning, as Michael Jordan, now 50 years young.
Well, SportsCenter's coverage of Michael Jordan's 50th birthday continues. We've got a lot of special features looking back at his spectacular career and enduring legacy, culminating with the top 50 plays of Jordan's career. You can rank the top 10 plays right now on ESPNChicago.com, then see the final results on Jordan's birthday, Sunday, February 17th on SportsCenter. As Anderson said, why do you need a second act?